Have you felt that sting? Someone looking at you and saying, maybe if you did been stricter, or whispering, you just let them get away with everything. It happens when a child acts out, gets distracted, or struggles in school. I have heard that too. And today, I want to say it out loud. Enough with the mother blaming myths. Over the next few minutes, I want to walk you through the three biggest myths I have seen and experienced that unfairly blame mothers for their children's neurodivergent traits. I'll share the psychology and research that debunks these myths, and I'll share some of my own story as a mom to a son with ADHD. And then I'll give you a short reflection exercise, something simple you can try to challenge that voice of guilt whenever it creeps in. So let's dive in. The first myth: bad parenting causes ADHD or neurodivergence. This one hurts the most because it's so common. The belief that ADHD, autism, or other differences are somehow the result of poor parenting. But decades of research tell us otherwise. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental condition, it's in the wiring of the brain. Parenting style does not cause it. Genetic studies estimate heritability anywhere from 30% to 90%, depending on the study. And meta analysis, large reviews of multiple studies, consistently show that so called lax parenting or strict discipline don't explain the core symptoms of inattention, hyperactivity, or impulsivity. I'll be honest with you. When my son was 4, I got this sideways looks. Teachers are the parents. Too lenient, aren't you? A relative once said, you spoiled him. That's why he can't sit still. I carried that comment for months. It cut so deep, I felt guilty every time he squirmed. But after his diagnosis, after learning more, I finally saw it for what it was: stigma, not truth. My parenting did not give him ADHD. What I could do and what I do every day is learn to adapt with him. So the next time that thought creeps in, if I did be stricter, maybe this wouldn't happen. Pause. Remind yourself you didn't cause this. What matters now is how you respond with compassion, with knowledge, with support. The second myth: mothers are too soft, too lenient, too emotional. That's why the child misbehaves. You have probably heard this one too. You let them walk all over you, or he acts out because you are too emotional. This paints mothers as weak or indulgent. But the truth is, structured support and gentle care are not opposites. Being sensitive or emotional isn't a flaw. Research shows that when mothers are under constant stress, whether from finances, exhaustion, or relentless criticism, it affects emotional regulation. That's not a moral failing, that's human. I'll share a memory. When my son was 6, bedtime was the hardest part of the day. He did get angry over the smallest thing: the light switch, where a toy was placed. I did snap back. One night, I burst into tears. In that moment, I felt like I had failed him. Later, I realized it wasn't weakness, it was exhaustion, fear, frustration, and yet through it all, I loved him fiercely. If you have ever felt that too, remember this: acting from emotion doesn't erase your love. You can pause, breathe, and reset, and afterward remind yourself you are not failing, you are a human, learning, adapting. The third myth: if you just tried harder or used stricter discipline, you could fix your child's behavior. This one is insidious because it places the entire burden on fixing on the parent. But children with ADHD and other neurodivergent traits don't need fixing. They need structure, scaffolding, and support, not punishment. In fact, harsher discipline often backfires, leading to more conflict and more shame. I tried it myself once. I thought if I just enforce stricter consequences, he'll learn. But it only created battles, power struggles, tears, guilt for him and for me. What finally helped was shifting my approach. Not finish your homework or no screen time forever. Instead, let's do 10 minutes together, then take a break. Structure, predictability, support. That's not weakness, it's strategy. And it works. And finally, there's one more whisper mothers often hear: your child's struggle are your emotional baggage. You must have passed something down. I carried this one heavily. When I was pregnant, I worried about passing on my anxiety. Later, my son struggled. I thought I have already failed him. But I have learned my history, my own mental health, it's part of me. It shapes how I show up, yes, but it didn't cause his ADHD. What I can do and what we can all do is heal from our own wounds while supporting our children with compassion. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with a short reflection exercise. Take 3 index cards or just 3 sheets of paper. On the first, write a myth voice you sometimes hear, something like, if I was stricter, she would behave better. On the second, write your emotional reaction, guilt, shame, anxiety. On the third, write a reframing truth, something like, I didn't cause this, my child's brain works differently, I am learning strategies. Sit with these 3 cards. Notice which one feels heavy. Keep the third one, the truth card, visible as a reminder. Or if you enjoy drawing, try this as an art exercise. Draw 2 columns, myth on one side, truth on the other. Use darker colors for the myth, lighter colors for the truths. Let the contrast sink in. You're not making art, you are externalizing the blame and then rewriting it. Even 5 minutes of this can help. So here's what I want you to take away. These myths are not just unhelpful, they are harmful. You did not cause your child's neurodivergence. Your emotions don't erase your love. Stricter discipline is not the cure, and your history is not your child's destiny. You deserve compassion, not blame, support, not judgment, and your child deserves a parent who learns with them, not against them. If this resonated with you, please subscribe and follow Educatable. Together, we can shift the narrative from one of blame to one of empowerment, respect, and justice. In these minutes with me, you are seen, you are valid, and you are doing the best you can. See you next time.